Hey guys, it's Mel. This will just be a little chat and also to share a little issue that I had with the Cricut Design Space. But first, I wanted to show you how cute are these cards that are for free for Father's Day. I really like this one right here. I don't know if you could see my mouse where it's pointing, but it's pointing to this man with this one, Dad Hipster card. But I almost wanted to make that one, but this isn't really my husband. He's not like a suit and tie. I mean, when he goes to work, he has to work. He works in like a plant, so he doesn't have to wear that. So I didn't know if that would be appropriate. But then I went to this one, and nor is he a gamer. Like, he's not a person that's always on video games. Of course, he has his video game things, but he doesn't really have that much time to play them nowadays. But who didn't play Nintendo back in the day, which is obviously this is what this reminds me of. And I got this idea. So I thought if I could write on the front of here, on this card, and just something a little quirky. I love the cute little, and thank you, by the way, those of you who commented on my, I'm looking for a stingray sentiment. So we're trying to think, I always make a card from me to my husband for Father's Day, even though he's not my father, but just, to tell him what a good job that he does. Everybody needs, recognition, and, I try to tell him throughout the year, but that's, a good day also to remind him as his Mother's Day, for me. So anyway, I make him a card, and then I usually make him two cards. One from my daughter, that's more of like a kitty card, and then one from me, more of like a thankful card. But I thought this would be fun for my daughter to give him maybe, or even me, and just to use the Cricut because I love the fact that it writes on there. So I may either do that, or I might use my smaller Lawn Fawn stamps, the alpha stamps, and I want to write on the front to the best dad in the game. Just, something little like quirky, something fun on there, and write that on the front. And then as you open it, there's a little cutout sentiment, like a negative sentiment that says, the negative cutout, I mean, that says Happy Father's Day. So to the best dad in the game. So I thought that's what I would do. So I just wanted to share that in case anybody else wanted, was looking for different ideas or whatever for Father's Day. Because a lot of times, like for my husband in particular, like this card here wouldn't work for my husband at all. Or like the ones with the tools and stuff. Because that seems to be like hammers and toolbox and or either a dad with a tie, which it's fine if that fits, your husband or your father or whatever. But for mine in particular, it just didn't really go. So anyway, so let's get on to what I wanted to show you. So what I wanted to show you was if you ever have the trouble of fitting all your images, like say you sized all your images on your Cricut mat and it appears that they fit on a 12 by 12 mat, but then you go to hit go and then it sets it up instead on like 2 or 3 different mats. So I was having that issue and I could not figure out why. So this one I called the actual people there, and they seemed unsure for a while, and she had to keep referring back and put me on hold. But she ended up figuring it out. So I just want to show you what I mean. So my daughter is turning 1. This is this one. My daughter is turning 1, and I had this idea for, I want to make these, I needed a bunch of little smaller mini heads, and they're going to eventually have the hot pink bow up here. But just the mini head silhouette. And I want to put, and I've done some of these already, where I want to put a 1, a 2, a 3, all the way up to 12. And then I'm going to put a black, I painted all my clothespins black, and I glued them to the back, and then also strung garland through the little circle on the clothespin. And then, so then it's mini heads 1 through 12, and then the clothespin clip will house a photo of my daughter at that age. So the one's going to be her at 1 month, at 2 months, so you can see her growth at our party. Because I'm having it at my mom's backyard because it's gonna be outdoor barbecue, and I thought it'd be neat in the gazebo there. It would hang perfectly, perfect space for it. So that's what I'm trying to make. So anyway, I got this sized here, and let's zoom out so you can see what I mean. Zoom out another time. Okay, so it's going to be hard to see, but right here is the 12 mark. So as you see, clearly there's plenty of space right here. Like it fits. And then here's the 12. And I even had a ruler up. So everything fits in there. But watch this. If I go, so I want to do this so I can maximize, so I don't have to buy a bunch because I'm using specialty paper. It's actually black with like a glitter polka dot. you know, small polka dots. So it's really cool paper, and it's almost like mulberry paper, but I don't want to waste it, so, or have to buy a bunch of it. I happen to have this, but in normal times, you want to obviously use as much as you can of one piece of paper. So when I hit go, although it's all on one 12 by 12 mat, look what it does. I don't know why on earth it would do this when clearly it didn't, you know, there's plenty of room at the bottom. There's room all the way around, not a lot of room, but it all fit. So it gives me 4 on one page, 4 on another page, and then 1 on another page, wasting 3 pieces of paper. Actually 2, because I knew I was going to need 1. So if you, I don't know why it does this, and it kind of makes me mad because it's almost like going backwards as far as software terms or like its capabilities. But I think this is, the design space is new, and they're trying to work on it. And I put a bug in her ear, and because she's like, yeah, we can always put your you know, our customers' comments in, and hopefully they'll, you know, do some improvements. But I really think they need to do it on this, and I don't know why it went to here. So what I was able to do to get around it, but this to me seems like extra work because I already did all this work where I size them just enough so that I can get the most mini heads. So I was able to get 9 on a 12 by 12 sheet. So what you have to do is go here and click your 12 by 12, and although like I never owned a 12 by 24 mat because I could never get 12 by 24 paper, and I know you can just use it as 2 mats and reload it in, but I've never had one. So but still click on that, and then see here how it makes it think you're on 12 by 24. So what you need to do is then do this all over again and try to get them in there the best you can. But what I don't like about this is that you don't really have any wiggle room. Like you don't have the capability of, I don't think you do. Nope. You can't like spin them around. You can't resize them. Like sometimes you could turn something upside down and fit it in better. So here's what I had to do, and then resize this again, and it, although it's tight, you know, it fits inside. This is 12, you can't really see, but this is 12 by 12, and then here's the other 12 by 12. So I got it all in there that way. I ran it through, and it worked. They didn't cut any ears off. I just had to be really careful because they're all kind of nudged up right as close as they can, see that, to each other. But I don't think you should have to do that, but for now, at least I know a way to get away from it. So I just wanted to put this out there. If anybody else was having trouble with that, this is a way to get around it. To me, this is not the answer. Like, this is what the lady told me. But to me, like, this seems something that a person could figure out, you know, just a get around type thing, like a bypass type thing until you figure out the real way. But in my mind, it really should, like, if I had my project, say my initial project is on here, it's inside the, well within inside the 12 here and 12 here. So to me, if I put it like this, it should cut like this, not to where I would hit go, and then this would happen, to where it's giving me 1, 2, 3, 3 mats and one cutting on one piece of paper. This is just not the way. So I really hope they work on this. But I'm just giving you guys this little idea if you're having this trouble. Because I was stuck. It was the weekend. I'm trying to get this done. And you can't call the helpline, you know, whatever. So I had to wait. But I don't want to have to do that when I use my machine. And that's the one negative thing with this is you're solely depending on the internet. Like if it's not like your regular Cricut Expression, if you want to use your cartridge and just go old school way, because I would definitely want to do that, you know, and just cut these out and size them myself, because then you know you're guaranteed, even though it's, you know, it might be the older method, but that's what I would do. But until they come up with a better way, just wanted to share this with you in case any of you have run into this problem. And as I come up with other, you know, little things that I learned, I will let you know, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.